What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to LTH. My name is Abe, and in this video I want to show you guys Otter Wiki, which is one of the most lightweight wiki platforms I've ever seen, and it also supports cool features like backing up automatically to a GitHub Pages site once you make edits. Okay guys, so in a minute I will show you how to install this on your Proxmox machine, your virtual environment, VMware, whatever you want to install it on. But this is it. It's super simple and super lightweight, and I mean that. So as a quick comparison, if we look at our resources, we're running about 2.2 gigs and 0.1 to 0.2% just sitting with our Proxmox node. But if we go to our AnyType instance, which was last week's video, you can see we're sitting at 5.5 gigs and 1 to 2%. So essentially, to run this is like over 100% more efficient if that is something you care about. Or again, maybe you want to run a note-taking application on something like a Raspberry Pi. Otter Wiki is going to be the one for you. So let me take you around the Otter Wiki page. So over here, we have these three little bubbles, and these essentially allow you to check your attachments, history, blame between individuals, delete things, your changelog. You can see the documentation here. So you can look through this, and this pretty much has like built-in user guides, markdown syntax. So if you don't know the syntax, you can learn it here. It's all built in. An admin guide for permissions to make sure, like, if you have multiple people that are using this, who you want to edit, who you don't want to edit, as well as who would you like to have access your resources. Now, if we go back over to the home page, we can see there's this little edit icon that allows you to edit and create documents. So this is what it looks like. You essentially have like a forward and a back button, search and replace, the normal bold, italic, slash out, and then you have some more refined features, which I have an example right here for you guys. So if you want to create super simple wiki pages, you can do that in here. We have examples of bold, italic, slash out, the header, you know, a code, inline code block, a copyable code block, you know, as well as a spoiler block. So you can, you know, hide spoilers or things. Maybe you want to create a tutorial and you want people to try first before they reveal it. Then they can reveal, or you can reveal the answer to them, which I think is super cool and super powerful. And maybe I'm missing that feature, but I haven't seen that on a lot of tools. So I think it's pretty cool. Here's a notice block feature, a warning panel, and then like a note quote slash caution quote here. And I spelled caution wrong. And then we have a link for references. So if you want to reference people, you can push them over to reference pages. And then we have things like tables and columns. So it is super, super lightweight. Let's go ahead and look at how to install this on your own virtual machine right now. So whatever your preferred platform is, ours is Proxmox. You can just go ahead and click create a VM and follow this GUI. But essentially what we have is 4 gigs of RAM, 4 CPU sockets, everything else is left default. We're going to use Ubuntu 22 server, and the rest can stay the same. You can choose where you would like it to be stored, essentially. That's completely up to you. So once you've done that, go ahead and get this running, and we're going to SSH into it once you get through your little default Ubuntu server install wizard. So once you have your virtual machine installed and created by going through that Ubuntu install wizard, you're going to go ahead and open a terminal on your computer. In this case, I use Windows Terminal because I think it's the best these days. And then we are going to just do this command. So SSH at the username which you created. In our case, it's learn and then the @ symbol and the IP address of your machine. And you click enter. We're going to click yes to say it's fine to fingerprint. If you click no, it won't let you log in. And then we're going to type our password and log in. And we can see we now have access to our machine. So this install is very, very simple. Let's just go ahead and install Docker first. So again, all these commands will be linked down below in the description on our website. But this is what we're going to do is just add the Docker's official GPG keys and type our password once more. It's going to go ahead and install all the Docker backend that we want. And then because we're using Docker Compose, we're also going to now install this Docker command, which you can see install Docker CE, CLI, plugins, Docker Compose plugin, right? And so that is going to go ahead and install. And then we can just check to ensure that all of this installed properly with the sudo docker run hello world command. So as you can see here, we're just going to run the sudo docker run hello world command. Man, that is hard for me to say today. And so we're just going to wait a second. It's going to download, and then we're going to get hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. So we have confirmed that. And now this is the part of actually creating Otter Wiki. So here, it's best practice to create a new directory for each one of your Docker machines if you're going to run multiple Docker images on the same VM, okay? So the mkdir stands for mark directory or make directory, and then we're just calling it Otter Wiki. And now we want to change into that directory. So cd is change directory to Otter Wiki. And now we're in our Otter Wiki. We can see that that directory has changed from the root folder to the Otter Wiki folder. Now we need to create a document to put in all of our compose file configurations. We can do that with sudo. Nano is a text editor within Linux, and then we're naming the file docker-compose.yaml. And if you want to run the bare minimum, this is all you need. So services, Otter Wiki, it's going to go find the image for Otter Wiki, and it's going to put it on port 8080/80. And the volume of where your data is going to be stored is right here. Now, if you would like to add more features, you can totally do that. I will have it linked on the article down in the description, but they have things like branding for your site name. You can add permission configurations within here, sidebar preferences, all that can be added just further within this file, okay? And so we'll do Control X, the letter Y, and then click our Enter key, and that will auto save the file. And the only thing else that you need to do is sudo docker compose up-d, and we can see now it's pulling those images of our Docker image specifically for Otter Wiki down to our virtual machine. And you know, I usually pause these parts of the videos, but we can see it's already done because it's just that darn small. And then you're going to go over to your browser and put this in, the IP address of your virtual machine. So let's do that right now. And just like that, we can type the IP address of our machine in and the ports and click enter. And we are presented with our installation of Otter Wiki. And then you can go ahead and follow this information. So if we do register an account, you can go ahead and create an account. It won't actually send you an email unless you set up your email server, but it will allow you to log in with a username and password to access and edit your wiki. So let me guys know what you think of this super lightweight text editor browser-based tool, and if you guys would use it, or maybe you have a project or something with your friends or maybe family members where you want to teach them how to do stuff so you don't have to keep helping them and being their dedicated IT guy. Let me know down in the description because I think this is a great and super light tool with just enough features to be useful. Thank you for watching. My name is Abe, signing off with another video.